Durag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Y2K 18.01.29. 281 days left to the midterm elections and 10 days to the next possible government shutdown. Today, this is my special State of the Disunion edition. Number one, make sure if you watch the film Threads, the nuclear war classic, you do it with subtitles. The movie is made in England, in the United Kingdom, and they speak English the way it's supposed to be spoken, and they use local slang. It would help with your appreciation, your enrichment of the movie, enriching the movie for you if you use the subtitles. Their example of, with the local slang, there's a scene in the movie where there's a word for cigarette they use over there sometimes. And this word ends in AG and begins with the letter F and rhymes with the word hag. So if you're watching the movie Threads, you'll get more out of this picture if you have the subtitles. Now the movie also uses the script, the excellent script, and the director uses the editing with the editor to enhance and stick with the themes. Threads. See how many threads you can find throughout the picture. The fact that director Jackson and scenarist Hines stick to this theme consistently helps make it, and it's one reason why I consider it a work of art. And along with the same subject, number two, check the website Nuke Map. Very interesting website. What it does is it shows you the extent of the damage that a nuclear bomb or a combination thereof can do to your area. In the damage from the explosion itself to radiation, depending on how the explosion is done, what has to do with the wind direction. And what you do is, when you open up the site Nuke Map, it will probably show your local area. If it doesn't, put it in there, and then you can move an icon, a ground zero icon, to where you want your bomb to blow up. And then you put in all the things you want, where it is and what the yield is of, and then of course where the radiation is going, and then you press detonate, and you can see the extent of this horrific weapon. I mean, we're living in a time where we have a mentally ill. I'm talking about someone who has dementia. I'm talking about someone with mental illness. A narcissistic sociopath. And believe me, the other thing that I'm also afraid of with him is he'll turn around and cancel the elections, and then we'll have a real civil war. Right now, I'm so afraid that he and his party are going to try to get rid of Mueller. That's going to open up a lot of things. It's going to open up a massive, massive revolt in this country against this creep. So check out Nuke Map. Nuke Map. Check it out. And you can see just how horrific these weapons are and what the extent of the damage can be. 3. Take the 35% of this country, registered voters who support this birther, bastard, traitor Trump seriously. Don't make fun of them. These people, they represent between 700,000 and 1 million people, registered voters who live here, between 700,000 and 1 million. And if you think, well, that's not enough because we have X amount living here, these people vote consistently and with no qualms. So while we on the liberal side are busy deciding who we're going to vote for. Oh, I don't like this one, oh, I don't like this Democratic candidate, I don't like that Democratic candidate. And I agree. I don't like the middle of the road to the right or slides to the left corporate Democrats. In fact, there's a group of Democrats who are trying to free themselves from this corporate imprisonment. Just like Bernie Sanders did, they're encouraging people not to take that kind of money. And now the Koch brothers are going to be coming out. They're supporting Trump to their full extent. These are one of those rich right-wing families that are going to get the windfall of tax benefits from this creep. The Koch brothers are two of the worst, pernicious, evil creeps there are. And in the next few weeks, they're going to be sending ads out to try to convince people that the tax ripoff is the greatest thing in the world. Check out how they use Orwellian propaganda. So, you got to remember that liberals, they get, oh, I don't want to vote for this one, I'm going to stay home. I don't want to vote for that one, I'm going to vote for a third party. Or I'm not going to vote at all. But meanwhile, the 35% who love Trump, who love his reality show administration with all the suspense that we're dealing with now, those 35%, they will vote for him consistently. They will get out 100%. And if any one of us on the left side, on the liberal side, decides to stay home and not go out and vote, we could end up having another 4 years of this creep and maybe more. 4. So make sure you vote, by the way. You know, you got like 281 days. Get out and vote. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know that the Republican Party makes it difficult with their gerrymandering and their voter suppression. I know that it makes it difficult because we have Citizens United. But the more liberals we have, the better, the stronger we are, and the fight continues. And remember this, the Supreme Court is hanging in the balance too. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's got to stay alive, as well as the rest of the liberals on there. Now, we know that Tuesday night is the State of the Union, but that's a stupid way of saying it. Wow, this is point number 4. This is the state of the disunion, because the point of this presidency is to destroy our country and hand it over to Putin, to turn it into a religious extremist, totalitarian, oligarch country. This is the state of the disunion, and I will not watch it. In fact, I don't watch him live at all. Anytime the Trump traitor birther creep comes on TV live, I turn him off. The only time I watch him is through the filter of the liberal news media. I have no desire to look at his ugly, hateful, racist turd face or listen to his creepy, stinking voice. I've lived in New York for over 43 years, and I've known about this creep since the 80s, and I've hated him consistently, and I know what kind of crooked, stinking creep he is. He's only in there because 50% of us didn't vote. I know that he and his party want a constitutional crisis. And I will be goddess damned if I let these traitorous religious extremist oligarchs take over my country. Every American liberal a 22 caliber, at least. Because I even hear on the news from the mainstream media fear that this creep may try to cancel the elections. By the way, you hear the Spanish music in the background? Yeah, ever since this creep invaded our lives, I've been trying to learn Spanish and to appreciate Mexican culture, Spanish culture. And for as long as I live, I look at my country as an open country, a country of immigrants, a country of oppressed indigenous peoples, sadly. And I do not want to make my country white again. If anyone has a problem with whom the Democrats might run against the creep in 2020, I said this before and I'll say it again, I would vote for a pile of shit rather than be under the rule of traitor, racist, birther, fake news, bastard, Trump and his GOP enablers. Remember, they're all going to vote those 35%, and I'm going to make sure my ass is at the polls as early as possible. And please make sure you attend the polls 281 days from now, no matter how hard the GOP and the Koch brothers make it hard for us to vote. In the meanwhile, F Trump and his state of the disunion.